Hello everyone, thank you for joining me. Today I thought I would do something a little bit different. It occurred to me the other day that I have never done the standard YouTuber introduction video. Granted, I had considered doing this video before, but when I did, I thought, well, no one wants to see that. You know, no one needs another YouTuber sitting down in front of a camera just talking about themselves. Well, today I realized two things. First of all, that's 95% of what is on YouTube already. And then secondly, you guys care about me more than I thought you did. This was made clear to me when I took a few weeks off to move across town, and I had several of you reaching out to me in the comments and DMs asking me where I was, making sure I'm okay, and that actually meant quite a lot to me. So first of all, thank you for doing so. And secondly, in light of that, I just wanted you to get to know me. I would like to get to know you as well, so at the end of the video, I'm going to offer a way for you to do just that. So be sure to stick around till the end. And if there is something else that you want to know about me that I do not cover in this video, be sure to drop it down in the comments below, because I will at some point release a follow-up video that is just Q&A. So let me know down in the comments. But for now, let's go ahead and jump right into it. For those of you just now joining us, my name is David Webb, full-time author, YouTuber, and social media marketer and consultant. I really need to cut back. I've been writing full-length books and screenplays for the last 12 years. I've written this book, and this book, along with a dozen others that you will never see or read. Upon my death, I plan to have my computer burned right alongside next to me so that you never see the first drafts of anything I've ever written. But don't worry, I still plan to write and publish many more books before I pass away. The books that I just indicated are available for purchase on Amazon. Check the link down in the description below. And they are the first 3 in a series of 9 that I plan to release in the next year and a half. I was born and partially raised in Thousand Oaks, California, not too close to Los Angeles, but just close enough that the lingering taste of smog was always in the air. And when I was 9, I moved to a small town in Sisters, Oregon. Sisters is amazing. I lived there when it was a town of just over 1,000 people, a real Mulberry kind of vibe. And it is by far my most favorite place I've ever lived. Beautiful landscape, great people, just an all-around great place to live. However, I lived there for a short 5 years before moving to Nashville, Tennessee. Well, when we came to Tennessee, it was a huge culture shock. I can't even begin to tell you the amount of times that I've gotten in trouble for just not knowing the lingo. I remember one time in my brief stint in public school, I almost got kicked off of a school bus because the school bus driver told me to put something up. And I, being from the West, where people say what they mean, literally took what I was holding and put it up in the air, not having any idea what on earth she could possibly be saying other than to literally put it up in the air. If you've noticed by now, I have very little of a Southern accent, if I have one at all. A fact I am personally proud of. Nothing against you Southerners, but it's just not my accent of choice. I have no idea what my accent is anymore because it's this weird blend of Californian and Oregonian and now a little bit of the South. So you tell me. As far as my education, I was homeschooled my entire life except for a brief 2 years in public school, my sophomore and junior year of high school, which were by far the weirdest and most frustrating years of my life. Public school can be pretty great for those who were raised in that environment, but for a homeschooler, stepping into that environment for 2 years is yet another culture shock, really. So I did my time, and 2 years later, I returned for one final year of homeschooling for my senior year of high school. After that, I went to college at Cumberland University here in Tennessee for no other reason than that's what you do. I was sold the lie of the great American dream that everyone should go to college because that's what you do. My thoughts on that are the topic of another video entirely, but suffice it to say, I wasted 4 years of my life and thousands of dollars going to college. I got a degree in criminal justice and public administration because I genuinely thought at the time that that's what I wanted to do. I was going to be a police officer or something because as a kid I wanted to be a detective. All the while knowing that I wanted to be able to write books, but being told by my parents that this was not an actual career. My advisor, my criminal justice professor, even told me while I was in college that I should be writing. All of my essays made this evident to him. I don't think I ever got graded on an essay at anything less than an A. And so he saw that and recognized the storytelling that I managed to do within my essays and kept encouraging me that I should just be a writer. I don't know why I didn't listen to him and just drop out of college right then and there. Honestly, my life would have turned out in a much different way if I had just left college after my first year. But I am where I am. I have the student loans that I have, and so you just gotta go from there. Anyway, I graduated college and I realized that I wasn't really supposed to be doing anything in the criminal justice and public administration side of the world. And so I floated around between a few random jobs here and there before I realized to just do what I've known my entire life that I was supposed to do, which is be a writer. And so I just went for it. I took what was my favorite project at the time and turned it into something that I actually wanted to publish. Granted, I finished that book and then put it on the shelf as I worked on the next 2 books in the series, but then I finished those 2 books and then I went back, edited the first book, and my friend Jordan Taylor of Blind to Cow offered a chance for me to be on his YouTube channel to promote the release of my book, and I realized that was another dream that I had always suppressed. I have always wanted to do YouTube. I always thought it was something that I would enjoy, something that I would be good at. And so I decided it was finally time. I went over to his house, filmed a video, and then the next day I filmed the first video of my own channel. So that, in a nutshell, minus one thing I'll talk about here in a second, is my professional career. Let's talk about hobbies. I have a dozen of them. I'm the kind of guy who just collects random hobbies and goes through phases in his life when he does one and does another and then does another. By far my favorite, the one that has stayed with me for 20 years, is magic. I have always loved performing magic. So much so that I was actually a professional magician at one point, performing magic for money. I'm gonna say this in the least braggy way possible, but I was actually pretty good. See? Granted, I don't have a lot of time to do it these days, but when I do get to do it, I love it just as much as the day I started. I am also a speed cuber. That is, someone who solves Rubik's Cubes really fast. So much so that if I had been doing it just 12 years ago, I would have held the world record. As of today, my record for solving the Rubik's Cube is 8.22 seconds. If you've ever met me in person, chances are you've seen me do it. If you haven't, don't worry, you're not missing out. It's really cool the first time you see me do it, and then 1,000 times later, it gets really old. Next up, video games. I've pretty much always been an avid gamer. When the Sega Genesis was popular back in the 90s, I played a lot of Sonic the Hedgehog. It was by far my favorite game. These days, that title goes to Half-Life. If you haven't played it, check it out, watch a YouTube video. The story is really interesting and the gameplay is a lot of fun. I like video games enough that I bothered to build my own gaming PC earlier this year, and that alone was a lot of fun because it was basically like putting together a model kit. I also like to repair and ride motorcycles. Granted, I don't do a lot of repairing these days because it is very tedious work, very exhausting, and kind of frustrating when you don't get it right the first time and you have to take the engine block off again. But I got a chance to repair and ride my own motorcycle a few years ago, which was a lot of fun. I also don't have the time to work on them anymore, but I'll get another bike here soon, maybe. Because riding is very fun. I like to watch movies. I'm a Star Wars guy. Star Trek is great, but I prefer Star Wars. Some controversial opinions. I like Parks and Rec more than The Office, dogs more than cats, and if I'm going to have ice cream, it can't just be all chocolate or all vanilla. It's gotta be a combination of flavors. For instance, my favorite flavor is amaretto cherry cordial. Let's see. What else? I like books. But I guess you knew that already. Ooh, and I like the Lord of the Rings movies better than the books, although the books are incredible. I guess that's about it. I mean, I tried to pack in everything that I thought you might want to know into this video. Don't forget, if there is something you want to know about me that I did not cover, please put it down in the comments because I will again be posting a follow-up video that is just Q&A. And finally, as I said at the beginning of the video, I want to get to know you as well. How you can do that is by signing up on Discord. I left a link down in the description below to our Discord community that I started a couple months ago. There you can hang out and chat with like-minded individuals, talk about books, movies, whatever. I would love to see you on there, get to know more about you, hear about what you're writing, what you're reading, just get to know you guys on a deeper level other than just reading your comments, which is always nice. If you've made it this far in a video that is just me rambling about myself, you're awesome. So if you made it this far, type Nutella down in the comment section below and let me know how you pronounce it, Nutella or Nutella, because I've heard some people pronounce it some crazy ways. Thank you again for watching. My name is David Webb. Can't wait to see you all again and get some writing done. I've done this before. Sorry. See? Okay, I didn't really think this through.